We are going to move from a resilience to a natural brilliant state.
We're all here to move our Black communities forward.
We think our children have to have the best. It's all about discipline.
How are we going to discipline ourselves so that we're able to save, so that we're able to make good financial decisions?
Recognizing that there's a road ahead if you manage the road in front of you.
The decisions that you're going to be making today in your lives where it comes to money will affect you in the future.
Discipline is one of the things that we often learn, sometimes by our environment, or sometimes we're forced to do it, and sometimes we don't learn it at all.
Stores want to get us in and out and get our money, and that's it. It's a game, so you have to be really wise to the game.
Do you know what it costs to run your home on a monthly basis?
Land acknowledgement. As we gather together, we acknowledge the sacred land on which we reside. It has been a site of human activity for 15,000 years. This land is the territory of the Huron-Wendat and Petun First Nations, the Seneca, and most recently, the Mississaugas of the Credit River. The territory was the subject of Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, an agreement between the Iroquois Confederacy and Confederacy of the Ojibwe and allied nations to peaceably share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. Today, this gathering place is still the home of many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work in the community on this territory. We are also mindful of broken covenants and the need to strive to make right with all our relations. Last but certainly not least, we acknowledge the people of African descent who were brought here against their own will or in search of a safe place to live their lives and raise their children. Reconnaissance des terres. En nous rassemblant, nous reconnaissons la terre sacrée sur laquelle nous résidons. C'est un site d'activité humaine depuis 15 000 ans. Cette terre est le territoire des Premières Nations Huron-Wendat et Petun, les Séniques et plus récemment les Mississaugas de la rivière Crédit. Le territoire était sujet de l'alliance de la ceinture Wampum plat avec cuillère, un accord entre la Confédération Iroquois et Confédération des Ojibwe et des nations alliées à partager et à prendre soin pacifiquement pour les ressources autour des Grands Lacs. Aujourd'hui, ce lieu de rassemblement est toujours le foyer de nombreux peuples autochtones de toute l'île de la Tortue et nous sommes reconnaissants d'avoir la possibilité de travailler dans la communauté sur ce territoire. Nous sommes également conscients des alliances brisées et de la nécessité de nous efforcer de guérir toutes nos relations. Dernier point, mais non le moindre, nous remercions les personnes d'ascendance africaine qui ont été amenées ici contre leur volonté ou à la recherche d'un endroit sûr où vivre leur vie et élever leurs enfants.
This webinar provides illustrative information with respect to the subject matter covered and does not represent an official opinion or position of the Black Business and Professional Association. The BBPA makes no representations, warranties, or guarantees as to assume no responsibility for the content or application of the material contained herein, and especially disclaim all liability for any damages arising out of the use or reference to or lines on such material.
Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone had a fantastic Friday. We're here on a beautiful Saturday with the Black Business and Professional Association with their ongoing education. Today we're going to be speaking about marketing and digital strategy. We have two phenomenal guests. We have Danielle and we have Brendan Boyd. Danielle is the CEO of Baloo Organics. And so I don't mess up everything, Danielle, I'm going to have you come on and speak about your company and tell us a little bit about this mommy-owned business that was born out of your desire with your daughter to have unique products. I'd like you to tell us a little bit more about that if you can.
Absolutely. So we got started in the middle of the pandemic. I was working from home and my daughter was like about like 6 months, and she was just such a busybody. And with just the state of the world and how, just gross everything on the outside was, we were all definitely in paranoia. I didn't want to take her anywhere that typically is like renowned for, physical development for children. And I was just like, oh, like how great would it be if I could just put her in like a ball pit? So I went and I looked online to see if I could find one. I couldn't find anything that I thought was suitable enough for her. So I just ended up kind of creating my own. And then I tested the market to see if other parents had the same issue, and they did. And now we've been in business for about 2 years, and we've gone on to platforms like Indigo, The Tot. We're about to launch on Linen Chest, and we've had partnerships with like all the Kardashian moms and a lot of other, A-list moms from down in the States. So it's been quite an adventure, but it's been a phenomenal one.
So, so this was done during the pandemic, you said?
Yes, at the height of the pandemic.
Right.
Yeah.
So what year was that? Was that 2020?
Yeah, 2020. Like
Wow.
Very much like hardcore lockdown. Nobody was going outside. We weren't doing any type of restaurant visits, like very much peak pandemic.
So you said that you tested the market. How were you able to test the market during COVID?
Yeah. So what I did was I didn't have any type of samples yet. I just thought about it and I was like, well, if I'm having this type of issue, I wonder what other parents are as well. So I just grabbed some stock photos that I found online. I put together a product description and I posted it up on Etsy. And in 1 week, I had gotten 10 sales. And that was with like awful photos and even worse, like product description. It just had the keywords. And I was like, okay, if this has already gotten 10 sales, there must be a market for this. There has to be a niche. So over the course of like the next few months, my fiance and I, we put a lot more into it. So we did proper product descriptions. We got proper photos taken. We actually put some effort into social media, doing SEO on our website. We built a website. And in our first year, we did 6 figures, and we're set to do 7 by early summer, late spring. So it took off really quite quickly, and it's been prominently in the digital space. So it's interesting to see how different strategies kind of came together to really work towards growing a business in a time where it seemed like it would have been the worst time to launch one.
Right, right. So, I mean, it sounds like there was a lot that went into this. You had to pivot a lot on your feet. So take us back to the inception and take us slowly through the steps that got you from where you started to where you are today now, able to have fantastic sales come into your company.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I got started, I just posted the products up onto Etsy, and Etsy is a phenomenal platform because it already has a very large user base. It already has people who are coming on and looking for particular products. What was great about the product that I was launching was that I was based in Canada, and all the other competitors who I had, they were mostly overseas in the US. So the cost of shipping was just astronomical for anybody to bring the product here. So I had posted the product initially for it was like $99 when every other ball pit that was on the market on Etsy was usually going for about $160. And from those sales, I was able to definitely have a better starting point in seeing what the market was like. So I was able to get a better grasp of how profit margins would have worked. This is my first time really working with like a physical product as opposed to services that I've worked in before. So I realized that, the cost of shipping just like immediately ate up into any type of profit that we had. So free shipping wasn't an option. We had to increase the price. And so over the course of, I want to say maybe 6 months, we were able to really get it to especially price point to where it needed to be. Our pricing ended up going from $99 to $129 for our smaller ball pit, and then $159 for our larger size. And we saw that there was a real pocket and just lacking in the market for organic products. So we added in a soy-based ball pit, and that one just absolutely hit and sold like hotcakes. And so that's been our #1 bestseller to date, our soy-based one.
So sorry, say that again. What What's the products and what is your best selling product you spoke about again?
Yeah, so our baby ball pits. And so we had initially launched with just like a regular foam. And we ended up sourcing a foam supplier here in Toronto because we wanted to be completely made in Canada as opposed to any of our other competitors. And so in doing that, our foam supplier had offered us like a wide range of options, some of which were soy-based materials. And so they had like less toxic materials in them. And so we were like, you know what, that sounds amazing. And absolutely nothing like that exists in the market to date. And so we launched that, and that one has been by far our most popular. And then we've also expanded that one now into being one that's even more organic, and is actually 100% completely organic, absolutely no chemicals in it. And that one's actually green. So it's both green environmentally and green in color. So in seeing that demand in the market, we were able to really tap into that and then just grow the business even more. But pedaling back to when we had started, again, so pricing was interesting because it was an opportunity for us to even just enter the market. So by undercutting all of our competitors, we were able to get sales, we were able to get reviews, and that kind of just built on our credibility. And so then when we started increasing the price, so the price also didn't just go. So for example, so the small ball pit went from $99 to $129, but it didn't just make like an immediate jump. We went like from 99 to 105 to 110 to 115. We started doing like $5 increments. And so anytime that somebody saw a price go up, we noticed that anybody who had already saved it in their carts, they would make a purchase because they knew it was probably going to go up again in price. And so that was another piece that kind of ended up working to our advantage. But that whole piece of finding out pricing was even like a little bit longer of a process, because actually only in the last few months did we find an even better shipping provider. And that ended up cutting our shipping costs by about 40%, which then only ended up increasing our margins. So there's a ton of different pieces that have gone into it. And we're only like 2 years into business, and there's still a lot of little pieces that we're figuring out. But I think that the digital piece really gave us the opportunity to have a large base to start with and a really large market to just test the waters in. I thought Etsy was really great. And if anybody has handmade or vintage products that it is that they sell, I think Etsy is fantastic because you already have a platform with a market and a user base that's there. So it's just about how you market yourself through SEO and through your images to really attract an audience. Yeah.
I have a question here for you. How are you manufacturing? Give me 1 second. It's a great question, actually. I just saw it pop up. How are you manufacturing the pit itself?
Yeah, so we actually have the covers. So it has, we have both a cotton and a velvet cover that goes on the pit, and they come in a range of colors and they come in all of our sizes. So those we now import because we weren't able to keep up with the demand on that. So those ones we import, but our foam is made here in Canada. So we import the covers, we get the foam from here, and then we bring it into our warehouse and we assemble them ourselves. And so it comes with like an outer circular piece, then as well as a base. And so we put those together and then we send them off to our customers. Yeah.
You wouldn't happen to have a sample, would you, for the viewers?
I mean, I don't have a sample currently like in my office, but I absolutely have photos.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I can.
You mind sharing with us?
Sure, absolutely. Absolutely. I always have photos available to share. Yeah, so, and honestly, so when we had gotten started, I thought that one of our best points for success were our images. It definitely tapped into the aesthetics that our customer base identified with. And with that, we were able to just create this product that was very much aspirational for moms. Like we always had beautiful backgrounds, amazing spaces that we worked in that looked like houses as opposed to just working on a white screen. And so like this that you see in the background, it's definitely not what the average home for a parent looks like, but it's what we would love for it to look like. And so just placing the ball pit in that type of space really spoke to parents and the fact that like you can have this ball pit in your space and you can have your home looking beautiful and put together at all times. And this will definitely not negate or contrast from that. So this is the ball pit. That's my daughter. She's the one who kind of got all of this started. And so yeah, that's us. That's what
She's a natural, I see.
Absolutely.
In front of the camera.
Absolutely. She gets it. It's funny. Every shoot that we go to, she acts like it's the first time she's seen one. And I'm like, you have 3 at home. Come on.
Okay. So this ball pit, so that I'm understanding this right, and all the viewers are understanding. So this ball pit is something that first of all, what's your daughter's name?
Her name is Nola.
Nola?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, this is a ball pit that Nola can like jump around in, kind of like the ball pits that they have like at McDonald's, Burger King, and those play areas. Do I have that right?
Yes, but so much more beautiful, don't you think?
way better. And not 1,000 kids jumping in it.
Exactly.
With runny noses.
Absolutely. And that was definitely the key piece for us in the middle of a pandemic. It was that your kid does get to have this amazing experience, but without all the germs.
Right.
Yeah.
So with this ball pit, I know that one of the things with Baloo Organics is that it challenges their physical and mental growth.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So maybe speak a little bit more about that.
Absolutely. So we have like the balls, like they come in different sizes. They're definitely a new texture for kids. And so it helps them with their motor skills and being able to hold on to the balls, grab onto them when they're in the ball pit. And gravity is always working against children who can't walk yet. So as they're trying to get up, the balls make it a lot more safer for them to kind of like tumble over. They're not like hitting hard ground. And it's really working their core. So while they're moving around, it can be hard to get a footing, but while they're kind of like tumbling around in it, they're really working on their muscles and they're really just developing them and growing them. It's actually kind of funny because so in the pandemic, my daughter, she'd been doing like tummy time, like she had her toys already. And then as soon as we got her the ball pit, within 2 months, she was walking at 10 months. And we thought that was amazing. We definitely attributed it to the ball pit because she was in it every single day. And her growth over the span of her being at 8 months to 10 months was incredible. She definitely had a lot more core strength when she was walking. It was like very much immediate. Like so we had taken her to my fiance's aunt's house, and there was this like ottoman, and she just like grabbed onto it, and she just had like no problems. She was just like walking around it. And that was the only thing in our home that we were missing, something for her to hold on to try and walk around with. And so the moment she had the opportunity she had like all of this strength that was built up from pretty much all the exercising that she had been doing, just rolling around in this ball pit. So by the time she had the opportunity to get up and start to walk, she was ready. Like she had this strength, like her muscles were developed and they were able to like hold her up. And I definitely attributed that to all the playtime that she had done in the pit, just because it really keeps them moving, because you never just stand up in a ball pit. Like you can't do that. You're definitely like tumbling around the balls and falling down and getting into them. So it was a safe space for her, which was really great, but it was also an environment that just like kept her moving and really kept her physically developing, which was really great. Yeah.
Phenomenal. And Danielle, does this ball pit, does it have a cover? Because it looks like a piece of furniture that could be in your house, and it's a design furniture.
Oh, and here she is. Yeah, so that great piece there, that is a cover, and so it changes. And I'll even show you a different one where she is in, so you can see even just a different color. But yeah, so we have lots of different colors that they come in. We're about to launch a completely new shape. We're going to launch square ones as well later in the summer. And those ones are great because they are truly non-tip, which is great. So we even have an absolutely massive one that fits both me and her. And so it's great for adults as well. And anybody who has like a really large space that they're able to fit it into, they're able to have like multiple kids playing in it. So it definitely comes in ranges that works for parents and families of all sizes, which has been absolutely phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah, great pictures, by the way, Danielle. That's phenomenal. Let's go back to Etsy and you using that user base. Did you do any demographics on Etsy to know to put it out on Etsy? Like, what brought you to Etsy?
What brought me to Etsy was the fact that I didn't have to invest into anything in order to put my products up. It was just like, at the time, I think the listing, it was like $4.99 to put it up. And then you have like a monthly listing fee of like 99 cents. And so for me, it was just a very small investment to put in. If I was to have launched on Shopify immediately, it would have been about $45 just for the entry level package. Same thing for Squarespace, that there would have been a little bit more to put into it financially for it to launch. And I didn't really want to put into that just yet. I just wanted to see if there was even anything here, if there was even an opportunity. And the moment those sales had come in, I was like, oh my God, I need to launch a website. Absolutely, I need to launch a website. So that was definitely the key piece for me with Etsy. It was just the fact that I didn't have to pay something to invest in it just yet. I was able to really just test the waters, like for like the price of a cup of coffee. So for me, it wasn't really a huge loss if it didn't work out. And so, but as soon as I saw that it was working, I was like, okay, let me make a little bit more of an investment in this because clearly there's something here.
Yeah, great thinking with that. You know, you test the market. That's how you were testing the market then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Right? I have a question here. Where did you get the foam from?
Oh, I can't give out all my secrets.
Got it.
I can't give out those pieces. No, that one is it's a little, I know that was a little too close, but it is sourced here in Toronto though.
Right.
Yeah.
And was that important to you to make sure that, I think at the beginning of when you started speaking, I think it was important to you to have products from Canada?
Yeah.
And why was that important at that point in time?
Yeah, that one was important to me because I feel like conscious consumerism is definitely a large piece of the modern day market when people know the fact that their products are being made in an ethical environment. And so that piece was really important to me. Also, the fact that it's handmade, I think, is a huge piece for parents because anybody who likes to support small businesses and they like to support, artisanal products, they definitely identify with what it is that we're doing. So they understand that, it's going to take a little bit. You don't have a 2-day turnaround time because it doesn't take us 2 days to make your ball pit. However, by the time you do get your product, you get something that's not just handmade, but it's made with love. Like we put each product together like ever so carefully. My fiance, he's so particular. If I ever have the lines off when like I'm putting the foam together, he's like, stop it. Let me do it. You go do some printing or something. These are not aligned. People deserve better than this. Like he's incredibly particular, which I think that just goes into speak of like the real quality that goes into the products and just the care factor. And I think that that's an important piece as well. Every time I speak to entrepreneurs about what it is that they're doing and they think that their market might be oversaturated, I always tell them, like, as a small business owner, you already have a leg up on any other major or large corporation because people can easily access you. Like if there's ever a problem with their order, they can contact the person who owns the company, like who can really do something about it. And also it's the fact that it's so close and it's so personal. Like not only are you just getting like a ball pit from like a company, like you're getting it from Danielle, like, and so like I'm named on all the emails that I send out. Like I let them know like, hi, like I am the owner. You're not just getting some random customer service person, like you're contacting me. So that piece I feel like is also really important because you're making business then more personal as opposed to just strictly transactional. Yeah.
I 100% agree with you with that, Danielle. That's phenomenal. Yeah, you definitely want to make it personal and not transactional. That's the difference with your business right now, because a lot of businesses out there, it is transactional, and you do miss that personal piece that we all so much want, especially during COVID.
Yeah.
Right? There was a question here for you. Give me 1 second. So, your website. What is your website? Maybe you can drop that in the chat.
Yeah, I can drop that into the chat. Oh, absolutely. It is.
And let us know what your website is. So your demographic, Danielle, would you say your demographic are mothers between a certain age? Maybe tell me a little bit more about that.
Absolutely. So my demographic, it definitely ebbs and flows throughout the year, but it is predominantly mothers. Around the January to March mark, we actually get a lot of like baby shower gifts. So it's not necessarily parents who are buying it, it's people who are buying it for them as gifts. So between January and March, and then also between September and November, it's a lot of gifts for baby showers. And then we notice that around the holidays, so November to December, it's a lot of gifts for the Christmas season. So we primarily market to mothers, yes, but then in like second ad segments or audience personas, we definitely have women who are aged between like 20 and 40, but not a focus on motherhood. We definitely have more of a focus on women who are in the workforce but don't necessarily have kids of their own. And then also around like Father's Day, we do have a little bit more of a focus on like marketing to fathers and focusing in on like that like father to child like relationship.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, and like that type of playtime. So it adjusts throughout the year, but primarily, yes, it is mothers.
Got it. And you spoke about the fathers as well. Is there anything coming down the lines where you'll have more, digital pictures with, dads and their children, doing the same thing?
Absolutely. And that was a piece that we were like, okay, we need to have like more fathers like included in this. So we've always kind of naturally gravitated towards mothers. And so being able to include dads has been an important piece of our promotions and our partnerships that we haven't established just yet, just because we haven't really worked with a lot of influencers just yet. We've worked with like a couple here and there, but moving into our almost third year of operations, we definitely do want to have more of an emphasis on that influencer marketing piece. And with that, we absolutely want to include dads. We have always tried to have an emphasis on diversity of who we include like in our campaign. So all the kids who come in, it's funny, every single time there's always one parent who's like, this looks like a United Colors of Benetton ad. That's because like inclusion is important. Like being able to see yourself, like it's important. And so we've always strived to have that piece. And so coming up in our influencer piece, like that's going to be a huge additive that we have, especially working with dads. Yeah. But with actually with FIFA coming up, it's funny, my fiance, he's just like, we need to have, ball pits that are color coordinated to teams. And we need to get on, like sending this out to like dads who are just like so into soccer because like, this is going to be the best thing ever. And I'm like, I would agree with that. So that's going to be something that we do have coming up this summer with the FIFA World Cup.
Phenomenal. That's awesome. How about the children who are using this? Is there a certain age limit or an age discrepancy that can be using this?
Yeah, so we say with no balls, you can have it from like 0 and up, and it's great because when you do add just in like a couple of balls, when you have like maybe like about like 10 or so, like the kids, they're just like, oh my gosh, like where do I go? Like how can I grab this? How can I hold it? And they're really like working on like those motor skills of trying to like hold the ball. But then otherwise, it can be used. Our small to medium sizes can be used from like 0 to about like 3. And then our larger size ball pits, we say like 4 and up, and that can really be like $4 to $99. Like anybody can use our massive size one.
So when you say anybody, any age range.
Any age range, yeah, absolutely. For our massive size one, that's truly like any parent can use, like any person can use that, like parents, non-parents, children, like anybody can jump into that ball pit. We've actually had one person with no kids buy one who were like, oh, cool.
Right, got it. Let's talk about the pricing of it. So when you first started out and you thought, okay, we're going to charge this amount of money. How did you come to that realization that that's the amount of money that you thought was fair, it was conscious, and it would work for not only your company, but for the people who are purchasing it?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, we had started at $99 and we realized we were just going into a deficit with that. And so the pricing then started going up. And so we ended up landing on, it was $129 for our medium-sized pit. And with that pricing, we were like, okay, so we're able to run sales with this. We're able to, absorb the cost of shipping, and we're able to price this in a way where it's still in line with the market value. And then our soy-based and then our ultimate organic ones, they've been priced a little bit differently just because they are very much like niche, unique, and like unavailable in terms of the quality of the soy-based materials in North America. And so we've priced it based on those key factors, but even though we are the only company that does have the soy-based materials and the completely like chemical-free soy based foam, we didn't want to be like ridiculously priced, because we realized like we're still working with parents, like kids are only using this for like a finite amount of time. And we definitely wanted the pricing to just be fair. And so, our products, they do range in price based on the materials that are used, but they're still very much affordable. And then we're able to include our sales when we do have them. We also had to factor in the fact that some of our retail partners, they do take a percentage. So our pricing has to include what it is that they get on the back end as well. And so just keeping all of those things in mind. And then we also were able to do it so that we're able to do free shipping when people do like combo packs, because some of our products, we do have higher margins than others. And so just being able to work out those numbers, which have taken a lot of tweaking, like you're never going to get it overnight. You have to like run your business, and then you find out like, oh, this needs to be priced differently. I need to adjust the pricing of this. This is sinking me. This is probably priced too high. I need to run a sale on this. Like those pieces, they end up like coming and going, and you figure out your pricing, I find, based on the actual operations of the business. But I think that it's important to note all of your expenses it is that you have, like your fixed costs and your variable costs, and then figuring out your break-even point, and then going from there. Our pricing has also adjusted as our costs have adjusted. So for example, the cost of importing our fabrics, that ended up increasing with the pandemic. When the issues regarding the Ukraine and Russia took place, the shipping of our products adjusted again, because they had to, things aren't being shipped out as frequently as they were before. So because of that, we had to order at like a higher volume. And so also because of the lag in time, we had to adjust the pricing a bit. And so there's things that come up like that. The cost of our foam, that had increased as well. And so whenever there's things like that, we have to account for them. And so your pricing will probably change because the cost of materials does change as well, but you just have to prepare for that and account for it. I think it's just a matter of just communicating to your customers that there is an increase that's coming.
Got it. One of the things that you were speaking about that I'm uneducated when it comes to soy products. Mm-hmm. So maybe if you can, give me some backdrop and educate me as to why soy.
Absolutely. So with kids, especially, so my daughter, she has some skin sensitivities. And so I've always been really conscious of the products that she uses. So she doesn't use almost anything from the grocery store, because if she uses Johnson & Johnson's, she breaks out. So for me, having a product that was very sensitive to her skin was really important to me. And so when we were sourcing the products, initially, one of the samples that we had actually ordered from overseas, I didn't like the way it looked. I didn't like the way it smelled. And I was like, I would never use this for Nola. So I would never sell this to somebody, because if I wouldn't use it personally, why am I going to sell it to somebody else? And then that was where we then got into sourcing the foam locally. And so when the option for soy-based foam came up, it was great because there's this ingredient in foam, and it's okay. Like it's fine for you to have on your skin. It's in all of our mattresses. Like it's what's called polyurethane. So we wanted to use a product that had far lower levels of it or next to none. And that was where the soy-based materials then came in. So the oils and like the material. So it's the way that the chemical is, we were able to replace it then with a soy-based material. And then that makes like it less irritating to like little ones with skin sensitivities. And babies are like very, very skin sensitive. Like even if they get like some spit up in like their chin and you don't like wipe it within like a couple of hours, like they immediately break out. Like that's how sensitive they are. And so having products that were, you know, conscious of that was really important to me.
Right. One of the other things I wanted to speak to you about that sounds like you're doing on a daily or weekly basis was the analytics that go behind this. You know, you have to really measure, you know, what you're doing. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about, you know, the analytics that go behind that, and how often are you looking at those analytics?
Absolutely. And, you know, being in the digital space, I think that that's the greatest asset that you possibly have working in business, that you either just don't get in person, or you have to work a lot harder to get in person. So online, whether it is, so we run ads on Facebook, on Google, on Pinterest, on Etsy, on Instagram, like we run ads. And so with that, we're able to get back information like how many sessions a person is doing before they actually make a purchase. And so that's like how many times they've actually come back to the website before they actually bought something. Some people, they'll see an ad and they make a purchase right away. Some people, they'll see an ad, they come back, they leave, they come back, and then it's only their 12th visit where they finally make a purchase. And that gives us a little bit more insight as to how our consumers operate. So do people come in, they see the product, they like it, they want to buy it? Or if they're leaving, why are they leaving? Does it have anything to do with price point? And so usually with that, like we'll see if it comes around like the holiday season, some people, they'll make a purchase, you know, 2 weeks before we run our Black Friday sale. And then some people, they'll wait until the Black Friday sale. So that gives us, again, more insight into like the pricing of our product, how important that 20% off is for people. And so because of that, we run our 20% off sale twice a year, once at Black Friday and then once in the spring. But otherwise, we just offer like a 10% like welcome code. We were working with like about 2 influencers last year, and they were given codes. And somehow, like if you do a search for, you know, a certain website and a discount code, it'll populate on some random website that just specializes in discount codes. And we had noticed that although both of those moms had stopped posting because we had stopped working together a couple months ago because their kids had grown out of the product, we noticed that people were still using the discount code. And we were like, they haven't posted our product in like months. How are people still using this code? And then we found out that it was on this website. So that just goes to show us that people will actually do a Google search to find a discount code because they don't want to pay full price. And so we actually never took the code off because we were like, if that's the defining factor for somebody to pull the trigger and buy the product, they finally found 15% off, we'll just give it to them. Like, that's fine. That's no problem at all. So that piece is really insightful as well, but it's definitely the information as to when people want to come back to buy products, why they buy products, and also like the abandoned cart is a great feature. Just knowing that people were about to, but then they didn't, and then you want to know why. Some people, if you can send them a code, they end up following through with their cart, they make a purchase and it's great. Some people, they'll still just leave it. So you don't really get as much insight as you'd like. But Shopify is a great platform because if somebody puts stuff in their cart and they leave it, but they've input their contact information, you have that available. So you could actually send them an email or give them a call and just ask them like, hey, like I just wanted to know, like, why didn't you go through with your purchase? And it can give you a lot more insight. Yeah.
Good. Great attention to detail. Danielle, I'm going to give you a little bit of a break right now. I wanted to get Brendan in here. I'm going to come back to you definitely.
Absolutely.
But I wanted Brendan to know that he's part of this, and he has a lot of good things to share. So Brendan, obviously, this is the first time I'm meeting you as well, so I don't want to mess up who you are. So maybe you can tell the audience a little backdrop as to who you are, how you and Danielle came, and just some of the things that are on your mind right now.
Yeah, sure. So met Danielle through a mutual friend, and I feel like we're family now. Like we definitely connect multiple times a month. So that's probably the short end of that. But in all essence, man, I'm a podcaster, YouTuber, I'm an author, I'm a speaker, but all of those fall in comparison to me being a marketing coach. And I've been in marketing since I was 20. I'm 41 right now. And I help coaches, consultants, course creators get clear on their marketing messages so they can sell more, get more clients, and grow a community. So a lot of entrepreneurs, they drop the ball when it comes to building a community. I don't really understand the importance of building a community. A lot of them do not even do the basics when it comes to just growing an email list, right? So there's probably a lot of people on today's call that, they casually grow an email list, or they don't really pay too much attention to growing that list, or they don't ask for emails. But I'm going to tell you, that's going to be one of your foundational pieces to marketing and growing your business. You should absolutely be paying attention to that email list. It's a cornerstone for you growing your audience. It's literally the easiest way for you to get another sale is through people that already bought from you. The hardest way for you to get a sale is new clients every single time. So if you're worried about, I got to get a new client, it's going to take you more energy and you're going to spend more time. You're probably sitting on 20 sales that you can make today, 5 sales you can make today, even 1 sale you can make today if you just go back and ask the people that already made a purchase with you. And we dropped the ball on that 100% of the time. I would say a lot of entrepreneurs, they just don't pay attention to that. In the way that the world is moving right now, we're talking about Web3, metaverse, digital experiences. You got to be building a community because you can't like the new technology is NFTs. NFTs is built around communities. Communities is built around you, serving and delivering value to, a size of people that you may be selling to. Even if you don't have a product or service, you can build a community right now that will be so interested. So as soon as you drop that product on a pre-sale, you can already make sales.
You mentioned an acronym, Brendan. It threw me. Did you say NFT?
NFT, yeah, non-fungible token.
So maybe explain what that is for everyone, because I didn't know what that was.
All right, so look, NFT. I guess we're going to take it a little bit outside of the context of today's conversation, but I just want people to understand where the world is moving towards, and then I'm just going to literally break down the basics of what an NFT is, if that's okay. So, yes. An NFT is a non-fungible token. It's basically just like a digital representation of a product. So we're talking about audio, music. It could be a Word doc. It could be a piece of art. It could be a video. It could be a picture. It could be a picture of a picture. It could be a video of a video. It doesn't matter. It's a digital representation. Now this digital representation, right? It gets recorded on a blockchain. You just look at the blockchain just as a ledger. It just has stats of transactions. You know what I'm saying? If Ian develops something today and the date and time that he developed it, it goes on the blockchain. So the blockchain just records when Ian created whatever he created it, and it's stored on there. It's just a transactional ledger. Now, the importance of an NFT, right, is this. NFT is something that you can make money off of, and it's also something that can give a utility. So just imagine, like, your kids might collect balls. You might collect cars. You may collect stamps. You may collect basketball cards. You know what I mean? Like you may collect clothes, hats, right? It's a collectible. So just imagine if you could get paid on your collectible like 3 different ways. Like you can get paid because it's a collectible and it's rare. You can get paid if I buy Ian's piece of art behind him, a digital representation of that, he got paid. I hold that. It holds an intricate value. If I sell it to Danielle, now I got paid and then Ian gets paid because of a smart contract, right? And then it has some type of utility. Ian's like, yo, if you buy this art, there's only 1,000 of them, but you know, the owners of this art, we can have dinner together. Well, that's the utility that comes with that NFT. The utility is Ian reserves a time throughout the year where if you hold this NFT, you can have dinner. That's the physical utility. And as Ian grows in his social currency and his brand awareness, not only is he get more popular, but that NFT becomes more valuable. And that's the way the world is going. So I'm just, you know, I got videos on this on my YouTube, and I talk about this extensively, but I'm just kind of segueing just to let you know at the core of an NFT is community. So if you build a community, 100 people, 200 people, 50 people, 20 people, 30 people, and you feed them with value, they're going to stick with you, and you can grow that community. So as you grow, as your products and services grow, the way the world is going, you can literally turn that into an NFT. Now you can sell that NFT to your holders of your community, right? So that's just where the world is going. But you need to start with emails and numbers. You got to start building your list up. That's how companies get bought. Facebook bought Instagram.
Great
Facebook
advice.
bought Instagram because of data, right?
Got it. Great advice, Brendan, as a marketing coach. So maybe tell us some of the things that get in the way as to why as entrepreneurs are we not building that email list? What gets in the way that stops us from doing that you've seen in your experience?
I guess what I would say is just like people not access to the information. Like, I think you get excited as a brand new business owner. You want to just develop a product, service, and bring it to market.
Yes.
So you're like, I got this thing. I got my clothing. I got, my program. I got, my plus toy or my coffee or whatever the case may be. And you're excited about bringing it to the market. You don't think about, well, okay, let me grab this consumer's data and collect the data because maybe, the coffee bag is going to run out in 30 days. I could just send them an email in 30 days and say, hey, you bought this about a month ago. Are you looking for a re-up, right? We don't necessarily always think about that. We look to how do we get more sales? How do we make the most sales? How can I continue to get new consumers? And that's definitely important. But two things are more important. One is the data, and one is serving people that you have already served, right? Why do companies have customers? Like, why do you drive the car that you drive? Why do you go to the place that you go to buy clothes? Why do you go to the place that you go to get coffee? Consumer loyalty. So you're going back. So you want your consumers to come back to you. And also, like, you may offer just one. Like Danielle, when she first started, she was offering one pit. But she listened to what the consumer was saying. What did they want, right? And that allowed her to make other products. Or she saw other voids in the marketplace. That comes from the data that you're getting from the clients that you already have. So it's very, very important for you to listen to who's purchasing your products. What is the feedback and stuff like that. And then that's another way where you can add value and then create additional products.
Right. You mentioned consumer loyalty, Brendan. How can you continue to increase consumer loyalty on an ongoing basis?
Yeah, the easiest way for you to create consumer loyalty is to get them to know you, like you, and trust you, right? Know you, like you, and trust you. And the easy way to get them to know you, like you, trust you is for you to show up. So one of the things that I wanted to share, and I told Ian, like, there's a couple of things I wanted to make sure people got. The first one is commitment. So I want everyone that's on the call today to make a commitment. Make a commitment that if there's a product that you're thinking about coming out, it's coming out. If there's a service that you're thinking about, you want to develop and push to market, you're gonna develop it and push it to market. If there's a date that you put in your head that I'm gonna roll out this product or service, it's gonna roll out. Or if you're thinking about a date, make a date today. So just make a commitment. So that's number one, making a commitment, right? And then showing up. So think about all the brands or places that you go. to do the thing that you like to do or purchase products and things like that. If they have commercials like Danielle was talking about, ads and stuff like that, they're constantly in your face. How many McDonald's commercials have you seen? How many Tim Hortons commercials have you seen? How many Starbucks commercials have you seen? You know, how many BMW commercials? Lexus every holiday, they're gonna come out with that December to Remember with the bow outside, mom and dad opening the door, snowing, and dad going outside and like, oh, it's the car. We know that, right? We see it. It's consumer loyalty. I don't even have it. You know that's coming out during the holidays, right? You know it's coming out. So you have to show up in the places that your consumers are. So some of y'all, it's Instagram. Some of y'all, it's TikTok. Some of y'all, it's YouTube, right? You have to be somewhere where people can find you. You have to be findable, right? So you have to make a commitment today, right? That you're gonna do what you're gonna do. You can put a date on that. You have to start getting people to know you, like you, and trust you. And for them to do that, you have to show up. Some of us are showing up passively. Some of us are showing up every now and again. We have to show up every single day. So if you are really passionate about the product or service that you have, the work that you're doing, the value you're bringing to the marketplace, then you need to take showing up seriously. Like it's literally not an option for you to not show up. Because when you don't show up, the competitor is showing up, and that could be your sale, or that could be the data, right, that you receive, so you can nurture that client, so then you can get the sale. Because everyone doesn't purchase right away, right? There's three versions of the same client. There's a cold version. The cold version may take 7 to 11 touch points over the course of some months. Right? There's the warm version. The warm version, he knows you already. He's seen some stuff, maybe consumed some content, maybe he's been on the fence, but he just needs to see you 1 or 2 more times, and then he's gonna make that sale. Then there's the hot version. Now the hot version, it doesn't matter if Ian is selling a t-shirt or Brennan's selling a t-shirt, whoever he sees with that t-shirt, he's buying from, because he already knows, he's problem aware. He already knows what he wants. So he's making that action. So he just needs to see that link in the bio or hear you say, go ahead and do that. So there's at any given time, there's always 3 versions of your client avatar. So there's always 3 versions of the customer that you want to make the sale, but they're all at different stages.
Question for you I have from someone, from Sharon Bailey. How does the government regulation on email affect you and how you collect and use email?
Well, the first thing you want to understand is you don't want to spam. So for instance, you can't just go and say, hey, okay, I got a bunch of emails. I got emails from, yo, Ian, send me 10 emails. Danielle, send me 10 emails. You know what? Oh, there's an email list right there. Let me grab that. You can't steal and hoard emails, right? The emails are gonna have to come from either you directing people to either your newsletter, or if you ask people directly, hey, Ian, do you mind if I grab your email? I got a value data drop daily or weekly. I'm gonna add you to the list. Or if they're purchasing from you, product or service, you already have the email. You can redirect that into your your automation. If you have an automation, or if you don't have an automation, you can redirect that to your manual cadence of when you're sending out the value emails. So you can't spam, you can't force emails, you can't steal emails, but you're not going to have a problem if you're just asking for them, or you have a mechanism to collect them, or if they're already doing business with you because they've already gave you your email so they can, get their product or get updates on it on your product or their product journey. So that's not it wouldn't be difficult for you to get emails like in a positive way.
Could you share maybe 1 or 2 mechanisms that we can use to get emails?
100%. So I'm all about value, right? I'm all about value. So we're in a world of abundance, right? I want everyone to say the word abundance or type the word abundance in the chat. Type the word abundance in the chat, right? And because we're in a world of abundance, it's okay for you to give value, right? You want to always bring value to the marketplace. Now, the easiest way for you to bring value to the marketplace and also positively get emails is with a lead magnet. Now, there may be some people on the call today that have lead magnets. If you do have lead magnets, amazing. If you do not know what a lead magnet is, I'm going to break it down. So let's say, for instance, you have a coaching program, right? Maybe you want to give people like a digital calendar, right? Make a digital calendar. And with that digital calendar, they can write out or they can input, what are they doing, for the morning, for the afternoon, for the evening, right? They can put it in so they can be more accountable and actually get more things done. That could be a lead magnet. Hey guys, link in the bio, download my free digital calendar. It's going to make you more, effective and efficient during the daytime. They download that free asset. You make it one time. In exchange, you get the email. The email you put into your email list. Once you have your email list, you send out that value, right? Now, for me, I think I got 4 lead magnets right now. So one is a book, my first book that I wrote. It was actually a workbook, right? I made this like 2019. It sold pretty well. I'm turning that into a free asset, right? There's value there. Hey, grab the workbook. It's a motivational workbook and it's interactive. That's a free lead magnet. It's valuable. People want that. Another thing I have is, let me see, I might have it on my phone. Let's see if I can pull it up for you guys to see it. Give me 1 second. Another thing I have is this, right? So this is a screensaver, 10 ways to make $1 million. Some people may want this. I have 2 different versions of how you're gonna break this down. I have them together, right? In a little bundle, free asset, right? Some people goal may be for them to make $1 million or $500,000 or whatever the case may be. You may want that visual reminder. Click the link in my bio, download your phone screensavers, whatever the case may be. The next one I'm doing is you could do a challenge, right? So I actually have a build your community 7-day challenge. So you subscribe to this challenge and every day you get an email. And in that email, it gives you some value of how you can actually start to build out your community. So there's so many different ways that you guys could give value and give abundance, right? You can either literally take something that you do right now, give them the what and the where, not the how, right? And then that's a whole thing. They're gonna get the how once they pay for it, once they do the transaction. But you can literally give them the what, the where, the when. And that's a product. That's literally a product. Or maybe there's a piece of content that you created. Maybe you did a speaking engagement. Maybe it was a 5-minute speaking engagement, 20-minute speaking engagement. Hey, download, my free speaking engagement over here when I talked about marketing. Cool. That's a free asset. You can repurpose content that you had this year, last year, maybe something that you're no longer using. You can just repackage it, make it fresh. And now it's an asset. So get something that you can give away so you can get the email in return and then warm those emails up. I see in somebody asked about the 3 client breakdowns, right? So there's warm, cold, and hot. So cold client is a cold prospect, I should say. A cold prospect is someone that never seen before. Like some of y'all never seen me before, never heard of me, never been in my Instagram, never been on my website. This is your first time. So it's cold. I'm cold to y'all, right? Now, for you to want to learn more about me, maybe purchase something, maybe come to, a webinar or something, you may need to see me more often. You may need to jump on my YouTube, come see a podcast, jump on my live, maybe spend time on my page. But at some point, there may be something that you may want to then get involved in, whether it's paid or for free. That's code. So the code is going to take 7 to 11 touch points minimum, right? For them to actually do the thing that you want them to do, whatever your call to action is. Code is going to take some time, right? My current coach, it took me 5 months to get into his program, but that was by design. And I can break that down to y'all how that works. But I was a cold client of his, right? Now, warm is like, again, warm is now. You guys have seen me, some of y'all for the first time, some of y'all may see me for the second time, or heard of me for the second time. Now, when you see me again, I'm warm to you because you already had experience. You spent some time together and things like that. Now you're like, okay, Brendan was talking about lead magnets. He was talking about NFTs a little bit. Oh, he said he's a YouTuber, podcaster. I know a little bit. Oh, he has this event coming up. You know what? I'm gonna see what that's about, right? Because now you know me. You might like me already, or you may come to like me. And at some point, there will be some trust. That's then going to make you do the call to action. Now, hot doesn't matter if you know the person or not. Hot is problem aware. So my problem is, after this, I'm hungry. I gotta get some food, right? So now I got options. Where I'm gonna go? I'm gonna go to this cafe, this restaurant, whatever the case may be. Maybe I'm gonna get Uber Eats or something, right? Or Postmates, right? So whichever one can happen first, that's what I'm choosing. It doesn't really matter. I'm like, let's say I want some French fries or I want coffee, I just want some coffee. So whatever is the quickest way I can get this coffee, that I can exert the least amount of energy, that's what I'm gonna choose. So that's why you guys have to show up every day and show up consistently, because you don't want me to spend my money with Ian when you're probably the best person for me, but Ian just happens to show up every day. And now I can't find you because I don't remember your Instagram. You ain't post nothing for like a month. So I can't find you. Ian's right here. He may not be the best solution. Let's just say he's definitely the best solution, but he may not be the best solution in comparison to you, but he's here. I found him. I clicked that link. He made it easy. Boom. Now I might be his customer now. Because now I'm in Ian's universe. So he sent me with them value emails weekly or daily or whatever his cadence is. I'm like, yo, I like Ian. Next thing I know, I'm like, yo, Danielle, you got to mess with Ian. Those could have been your customers that you could have been nurturing and growing your audience, right?
Yeah. Yes. Brendan, you also, one of the things that caught my attention was that you said that you wrote a book. You're on YouTube. I'd love you to be able to put your information in there, because what you're speaking about is so valuable.
So this is my second book I wrote, and it's called The 8 Secrets to Success. And then I have a third book that I'm writing right now. Well, it's actually written. It just needs to be formatted. But that's another cheat code. Can I give a couple cheat codes here?
Please do. Let's do it. Come on.
All right, listen. If you guys are looking to grow your brand awareness and grow your authority, in the marketplace, there's 2 cheat codes that I tell all my clients to do. Literally, these will work, right? The first one is you want to publish something. And I know some of you guys are probably like, I'm not a writer. It's going to take me a minute to write it. But in 2022, there's so many, you don't even have to write your book. You can get it written for you. But what I teach is how to pre-sell. So all you need is a cover. You just need a cover, a digital cover to your book, and that can make you $2,000 to $3,000 with just the cover. Now, the book could come out 30, 60, 90 days later. You got the money. You can reinvest that and to get other people to finish it if you want, or you could just write it yourself. But the book is going to make you an author, which is going to give you authority. So if it's Ian versus you or you versus me, you got the book. We all sell the same thing. The consumer's going to automatically look your way because you're an author. So that means he must be an expert on the subject, right? So publish a book on whatever you do, right? Whatever your expertise is, let's publish something this year, okay? And it's not that hard. I can teach you guys how to do it. The second thing you want to do is have a platform, guys, right? So whether it's going to be a podcast, a YouTube show, or just being on YouTube, right? A visual podcast, in person, virtual, which is just like this, or just audio. Commit to having some type of podcast. I'm going to tell you why. I've been able to be in the homes of 8-figure earners, right? And give free game, free information because I have a podcast. How many people are going to say yes to you to be on your podcast or be on your show? Right. Now you guys are friends. Now you got 6-figure earners contact, 7-figure earners contract, 8-figure earner contact. Another cheat code, if you're a speaker, right? I would invite the gatekeepers of speaking engagements to be guests on your show. Now you have all of the power. Let's say you want to speak to different corporate organizations. Okay, well, find out who in all these businesses make the decisions to bring speakers on, and then build your platform around bringing on those people. Now you got 10, 15, 20 direct contacts to people that make decisions on booking you to speak. And then boom, you get booked more. Maybe you got a clothing company. So maybe you could build a podcast or bring, it doesn't even have to intentionally be a podcast, but maybe you can intentionally invite buyers, right, of department stores or for online entities or for boutiques. Invite the buyers on your show, interview the buyers. Now all of a sudden you got 10, 15, 30, 50 buyer contacts. Hey, yeah, I love being on the show. Hey, I would love to carry your product. It's a conversation. They're friends. Now y'all are friends, right? I was able to, so me, I got 2 podcasts and I got a morning show, right? Now with my morning show, last week, I was able to have on this woman called Coach, her name is Coach Kelly. She made 100K in a day twice last month in March. So guess what? I invited her on the show. She came on the show. You get free game. She broke down how she did it. Now I got the sauce. Now, if I took a coaching program, which I'm not saying it's like you do this and not do the program, but I'm saying if I took that program, I would not have the same relationship that I have with her, right? I would have a different relationship with her. And it would take me longer for me to get that type of access that I have when I just say, hey, listen, I got a podcast. I would love to have you on. I would love for you to come on and share your message. Oh, yo, I got a show. It's literally 30 minutes Monday through Friday. I would love to have you come on and talk about the thing or talk about a topic and share with the community. It's a cheat code, guys. It's going to change your access and to change your relationships. You are the sum of the 5 people that you hang out with or that you interact with the most. So if you start intentionally hanging out with higher net worth people or interacting with different people that you know, or rooms in different areas that you're going to want to hang out with, you're going to change, right? So I encourage everyone to have a platform, have some type of platform, leverage it, invite people on that you want to build with, right? And then that's how you can start developing those relationships. Cheat code.
Great advice, Brendan. Fantastic advice. You can see you're a great coach. Maybe you can tell us how you and Danielle came together.
Yeah. So again, Danielle and I, we met.
I'll let you speak, and then I'll let Danielle speak, because it could be 2 different perspectives.
Yeah, 100%. I met Danielle through her cousin. Her and her cousin, we're really good friends. And I used to visit her cousin a lot when I was in Boston, because Toronto was only like an hour and 15 away. And then, you know, Danielle's an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. So I think initially there was a speaking opportunity. And that's how she was like, hey, my cousin got a speaking opportunity. I think you guys should connect. I think that was the first time. But Danielle, you could explain it different if that wasn't it.
Yeah, no. So like you said, like he and my fiance's cousin, like they're very good friends. Like they're on FaceTime all the time. And over the course of the pandemic, she was always at my house. And so I would always hear their conversations. And he is just like, he's so sure of where he's going to be. And he's just so disciplined in how he's going to get there. And I was always like, oh no, like, B, like you're going to be a billionaire. And so like I follow him on Instagram, like he's so consistent in terms of not necessarily the marketing, the work that he does for himself, but in terms of how he helps other people get there. And so when it came to working together in like a professional capacity, it was actually like BBPA. I think it might've been community space. Actually, no, sorry, I lied. It was Boss Woman. Boss Woman was the first one, because I remember all the women went crazy in the comments. They were like, oh, he's amazing. He's fantastic. And he very much is. And so I've included him in a couple of these sessions and these programs, because what I find that Brendan does more than a lot of speakers who I've seen in like various different events and platforms is that he really gives a tangible takeaway, like something that is definitely actionable today you can do that with the things that he brings to the table. But yeah, so we know each other through family, but we've definitely become friends. And I think that he's just a great person to connect with, especially if you're doing any type of work that involves like digital marketing and working on like a one-on-one type of capacity. And I think that he has a course coming up. So if you need assistance there.
I got a webinar coming up on Tuesday, and it's free. So I would invite, I'll drop the link in the bio. So I'll invite everyone to come to the webinar. There is a VIP option. The only difference is with VIP, you get an extra hour and you can ask questions and things like that. But literally, it's called the Digital Product Elite Webinar. I'm going to teach you how you can take hobby expertise, your genius, your imagination, turn that into a digital product and be able to monetize that. And then I'm going to show you how to diversify that information to 5 different products. So now you got 5 different ways how you can monetize that information.
That's what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. That I need you to put that right into the in the chat so that everyone can have the opportunity to take advantage of that. Thank you very much. I didn't want to keep everyone too much longer. We're at 11:15. Did anyone have any questions or concerns for Brendan or Danielle? Any other questions or concerns? Let's see if we got a question here. Let's see. Good.
I was gonna say also, if you sign up to the event, whether free or VIP, you're gonna get an email, and that email is gonna give you ability to sign up as an affiliate, so you can literally make money before you come to the webinar. And I'll do all the work, and you can make money before you come to the webinar.
Got it. So I'm just gonna. So you're at www.digitalproductelite.com.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. Danielle, did you put your business contact in there as well?
I absolutely will. Yeah, please do connect with us on Instagram. Like I know Brendan definitely reaches back out to any of his DMs, as do I. So please do connect with us online.
That's great. Okay, well, you know what? I think we've come to a close. We've exhausted a lot of our time. I think this has been phenomenal information. Danielle, thank you so much. Continued blessings in your business. Brendan, phenomenal coach. You made so much sense in everything that you spoke about. I'm hoping that we can have you guys on again as a follow-up. That would be really good. A lot of the things that you said today were so educational. I've been an entrepreneur for, over, 20-something years, and the information and the insight that you gave today was phenomenal for me as well. So I can only imagine everyone else. I'm probably speaking on behalf of everyone. Here's someone, Denise just saying, great information. So thank you very much. Continued blessings to you guys. I'll leave the chat open for, another 5-10 minutes for everyone, just to make sure that they take down the information of these 2 great entrepreneurs coming up, doing phenomenal things. But I'd like to thank everyone for coming out on a Saturday morning and taking in some really good information. So with that, I'll say bye to everyone. Like I said, let's just leave the chat open for another, 5 minutes if we can, Victoria, and make sure that everyone gets the information needed.
Will do. Thank you.
Yeah,
okay.
I just dropped the link at the bottom. Monday through Friday, I do a morning show for 30 minutes. I have some amazing guests on. It's free. All you gotta do is pull up. Follow me subscribe to my YouTube. Danielle was on there. She came through to the morning show. We talked about some stuff.
Right.
But yeah, it's a great way for you to get access to other guests that have a bunch of information. So I would definitely, and there's 35 episodes up right now, so you can go by and watch a bunch of them, today if you want. Phenomenal.
Brendan, thank you very much. I mean, these are these are so important for us to, you know, progress and do well and make sure that our businesses are going to be successful. Not just our businesses, but the work that goes in behind the business. We're being successful with that. So thank you very much, Brendan and Danielle.
All right, guys. You guys
thanks so much for having us. Thank you so much for hosting, Ian.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Okay, bye, everyone.
Okay.
Community Spaces, the financial literacy program that speaks and reaches the community. Are we going to be in a better place, or are we going to be still, quote unquote, behind the 8 ball?
Because of the historical disadvantage that our community has, we most times do not have financial role models. Without that, economically and financially speaking, we'll always be at the bottom.
Keep proper books and record, because the data drives the strategy and the strategy drives the profits.
COVID-19 sort of removed a veil. It's really exposed the structural barriers that our communities face.
These last 2 years, where there's been a heightened emphasis on the well-being of Black people, has influenced the influx of funds and opportunities. The time is now. How long is that window going to be open?
We'll see you next week. And don't forget to tell a friend to join us here on Community Space